afternoon. This is Chrissie Samuel, and we're going to try to do a yoga video to help everybody at home, whether they are part of the Eat and Rec or not, any of your family, and you can share it, of course, because we need to find a little bit of grounding and a little bit of centering in this trying times. We've all got situations where we're having to deal with not going out, etc. So this is a fantastic time to do yoga, just to quiet our senses, our mind, our body, and our spirit. So we're just going to take a moment to sit comfortably. If you have a yoga mat, that's wonderful. If you have a blanket, it's best to sit on that blanket or a cushion to help tilt the pelvis. You can sit in hero pose as I'm doing, or you can sit with the legs crossed in easy pose. But find the comfort that you want to bring. And we have to take it really easy. Yoga is not about pushing, straining, or forcing. It's allowing ourselves to find comfort and ease in every single movement. And they're called poses, asana. So this isn't going to be a very difficult yoga session, so be aware of that, but you still have to pay attention to your body and how it feels today, this moment, in the present moment. So I want us to take a moment to breathe, and it's called centering. I like to do this at the beginning of class, just to take us away from our day and just bring ourselves inside, a little bit of nurturing for ourselves. We must look after ourselves, we know that, otherwise we can't look after anybody else. We need that to happen. So we're going to lift really tall with that spine as we sit. We're going to close our eyes if comfortable. If you're feeling a little agitated or a little stressed, palms down to calm you. If you want a little bit more energy, palms up. So we're taking time to breathe. And breathing an essential part of our lives. We don't even think about it. So if we're just taking a nice long deep breath, that is great. But if we can go a little bit further and take more oxygen and air into our bodies, we allow ourselves to transport that energy and air and oxygen into our lungs, into every part of the body. We want to utilize the full capacity of our lungs. So if you know the diaphragmatic breath, go ahead. But if you don't, hand on the belly. As you inhale, you're going to just gently expand that hand, belly into the hand. As you exhale, you're going to draw that belly back in. So we're actually breathing from the belly and the diaphragm area, which if you notice, takes longer to get that breath into the lungs. So we're expanding the lungs fully. Take your time to breathe. If it's too much, if you're not quite getting it, that's okay. Just breathe a normal, full breath. Soften the shoulders a little bit. Relax your jaw. You can get very tight and tense and not realize. Let it go. Remembering this is your time to nurture. So let that mind become really still of all those busy thoughts. Just allowing yourself to focus on your breath. If you know the Ujjayi breath, that's the victorious breath. It's a breath where the air is traveling over the back of your throat. It's a gentle whisper sound. If you're a Star Wars fan, you know Darth Vader. It sounds a little bit like a soft Darth Vader. If I had a microphone, you could probably hear it. But it's just a nice deep breath with a sound of air traveling over that throat. Why is this breath useful? Well, it brings focus already because you can hear it. But the vibration in your throat allows all the different sensations and different systems in your body to become alive. So think about that. Deep, diaphragmatic, Ujjayi breathing. It's very calming. Take another long, deep breath, please. As you exhale, I'd like a little drop of that right ear to the right shoulder, being comfortable, noticing how that neck feels today without pushing or straining. Let's bring this left hand behind your back, lightly touch the fingers to that right elbow, and draw the left shoulder downwards a little bit. If you can, nudge it back slightly so you get a little deeper stretch through that neck and shoulder. Deep breaths. Take the next breath and turn the chin to that right shoulder. As you exhale, a little drop of the chin downwards. Again, we're not forcing it, we're just opening the back of the neck a little bit more. Deep breathing. Inhale, turn the ear back to the shoulder, and this time lift the chin slightly. When you're ready, nice deep breath, releasing the head and arm back to center. Of course, we have two different sides, so let's slowly do the other side, but listen to how this side feels. Deep breath in. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Keep that breathing going. Do not hold your breath at any time. Bring the right hand behind your back. Touch the fingers lightly to that left elbow, and this is where we'll notice if it's a bit tighter on this side. This is what we learn. Yoga helps us learn from every movement we do. When you're ready, draw that shoulder slightly further back if it's comfortable, but listen all the time as you breathe. Inhale, turn the chin round to that left shoulder, and as you exhale, drop the chin slightly down again. You'll notice it could be tighter, be careful. Taking time for ourselves, opening up the body. Inhale, rotate the ear back to the shoulder. Slight lift of the chin if it's comfortable. Still listening to that diaphragmatic or belly breathing. Inhale, lift the head and arm back to center. Exhale, we're going to drop the chin down to the chest now. Be comfortable. Just notice the back of the neck. Bring the hands behind your head, interlace the fingers very lightly behind your head. Try not to push the head down. Let the hands bring a little bit of heaviness to the back of your neck. If it's comfortable for you, stroke the thumbs upwards from the cervical spine to the base of the head. Be comfortable though. It's firm enough that you can feel it. We're not pushing hard. Then take your thumbs out to the sides as well, all the way up. And going out to the sides. And back. Like to do it one more time. Be comfortable and slow. We're not rushing to go anywhere, as you know. When you're there, just rest your hands, engage your tummy, just lift it a little bit, protecting your back. You're going to take a big breath, lift the head up, open those arms back. Let's get this really good stretch. Exhale and drop the chin back down. Excuse me. Inhale, lift. And exhale down. Inhale and do it one more time. Big breath. Exhale. Let's release the hands. Take the hands in front of you. So I want to get a stretch at the front of the neck and not putting any pressure on that cervical spine. So let's do it if we can. We're going to open and close the mouth to draw that chin and jaw forward to get the stretch. We're going to do it 7 times because according to yoga, we have 7 main energy centers running up the spine that govern our health and wellness and different things. So we're just going to do a very gentle, stretch that neck and visualize where these energy centers are. And just in your mind, think about them opening and flowing freely. First one, right at the perineum, associated with the color red. Stretch your neck. 2, sacrum, orange. 3, solar plexus, near your belly button, yellow. Heart, green. Throat, blue. Third eye, indigo or purple. And the crown energy center, or actually the name is chakra, is right at the top of the head. Violet, can also be white. Slowly come up all the way and open your eyes. Just roll those shoulders a few times. I hope that gave you a little sense of calm already. Now we just need to move the body a little bit to get that circulation going, to open all those tight muscles, ligaments and tendons. And I do repeat, we're not forcing, pushing or straining, please. All the way forward. Exaggerate the roll a little bit, so you're really opening up that shoulder joint. It's a very vulnerable joint. We don't want to hurt it. Good. Bring your hands up together all the way, and this is Shiva Mudra. It's the index finger pointing and the other one's clasping it together. And if you can, or you can just bring your hands together. Lifting up, listening to what your shoulders are telling you. Let's gently come over a little bit to your right. And come back, inhale, and over to the left. Good, come back. Let's do it again. Exhale right. Tummy needs to work because we're working that back as well. Inhale, continue, exhale to the left. Release the arms. We're going to gently bring them halfway down. Fingers are pointing forward, stretching out with those fingers, working the wrist, and then draw those shoulder blades in a little bit and back. Listen to your breath. Good, release. Shake it out. Excuse me, I have had a little cough, so I might be coughing a little bit. I apologize, but at least you're not anywhere near me, so that's fantastic. All right, so we're going to very gently lift the belly a little bit more, and we're going to do a gentle twist. When we twist, there are several things we have to worry about. Our back, of course, but also how we're twisting. Because if I'm going to slump and start twisting, my back is definitely going to be compromised. So I really want a big lift, not only from your spine, but from the sides of the waist. So we're going to roll around very gently, listening to our back. I don't want you leaning back, especially if you're sitting cross-legged, because that lean back will compromise your back again. So get your hand close in towards your foot or buttocks and allow yourself to drop the shoulders and continue those long, deep breaths, please. So what is happening when we're twisting? We're totally detoxifying our body. We're twisting it. So we're getting rid of that stale blood, stale air. So that when we release and come back to center, it all gets refreshed. So twisting is a fabulous part of yoga and our lives, of course. Let's turn gently to the left. Again, trying not to lean back. Lift your chest a bit. Drop your shoulders. And of course, bring your abs in and up. Listening to that belly breath. And release it back to center. Now we've just twisted the spine. I like to come forward to realign that spine. It slightly gets taken out in a good way, out of alignment. We now need to just lengthen forward. We do not have to worry about how low we go. We're just taking that spine forward. Lengthen it. And then work it back. Good job. All right, we're going to lift off wherever we're sitting now. We're going to change the legs. Again, I repeat, if you've got a blanket or a cushion, do utilize it. Because as we sit, we're definitely going to allow ourselves to help our spine and pelvis. And you can go as high or as low as you want to. If it's too low, just roll it up a little bit higher. Double it up or triple it up. Or if you happen to have a brick or a big dictionary, you can sit on that. So we're going to sit really tall and take those legs out in front of us. We're going to take a really tall spine, and again, we're lifting from the sides of the waist as well to elevate. Shoulders are down. Good. We're going to take a little bit of a stretch with our hamstrings, the back of the legs, pointing those toes up to the ceiling if you can. I know you can't see my toes, but they are pointing up to the ceiling. And bring it back. Just a nice, gentle forward fold. This is not trying to get our head to the knees. We're just trying to lengthen that spine forward again. If you can, again, that little bit of belly lift would be great. And release. One more time. Lift up and forward. Of course, if you can go deeper, go forward and down. But if we start rounding from here, we strain our back. So that's why I want us to go forward at least. Then if we can move further, we can go down. So then we're going to come up, and we're going to take our left. I normally mirror image. So this is your right knee, I think, because that's what it's telling me on my video. And take it over to the left. We're going to hug the knee a little bit. Now, if that doesn't feel good, just stay here, okay? I want us to pay attention to what happens if we just nudge this knee in. If it's too tight here, you've got to let go. Pull that belly in, definitely round. And again, we're doing a twist. This is what we need to do. We need to get rid of all this negative energy. And the hand is not going to lean back. It's going to come in a little bit. And if you make a fist of this right hand, you can do a little push down. And what happens, it elevates that spine a little bit. Don't push hard. And try, if you can, to get that head and chin round as far as comfortable. What about that left leg? Is it energized? I'd like those toes to continue to point up to the ceiling. So we have energy in every part of the body. Listen to your breath. You can close your eyes if it's comfortable because it brings more focus. Slowly release. Now, that was Mudryasana pose. We have Sanskrit language for yoga, so there are different names for different poses, asana. And this is just a pose that, as I said, detoxifies. Now, if you can, we're going to go a little bit deeper into the pose. If it's not comfortable, stay exactly where you are with the leg out. Do not try this if it's too tight. But we're just tucking this leg in, and we're going to hug this knee. We're going to take that tummy in again. We're going to rotate, so you now feel we've got more rotation. So you've got to listen to what's going on in your back. Listen to your breath. If you want to come into the full pose, the elbow comes to the outside of the knee. Again, don't strain to get there. Palm to that wall. Fist gently nudging into the floor, and we're twisting into what is called half Lord of the Fishes pose. Quite a mouthful. Breathe. Again, can you close your eyes to focus? Very slowly, come back in to the center and release the legs. Shake them out. So, of course, we've got to do the other side. Makes sense. So, this side may be tighter. So, I've said a million times, even in this video already, pay attention to what your body's telling you. So, we're going to take this right leg out. We're going to cross the left leg over. Now, for some reason, this side is even too tight to do that. Bring it on the inside. That is fine. You can still twist. So again, if there's tightness, pay attention. Elbow, tummy, nice tall spine, pushing a little bit down into that left fist. Elevate, drop those shoulders and breathe, please. Come back to center. I hope there was energy in that right leg. Bring this right leg under if it's comfortable. If not, leave it straight, that's fine. Hug the knee. See how that feels? You're going to do a little bit more rotation. Be comfortable, please. If you can, elbow to the outside of this knee. Again, little fist on the left to elevate that spine. Yes, you're going to get more rotation, so be careful. Deep belly breaths, please. so slowly coming back. Releasing the legs, shaking them out again. Now, although you can't see my feet, we're going to move them side to side. Okay, I could go further back, but I think you know what to do. Just side to side. I call it windshield wipers. Then we're going to point the toes and flex them. So point them away from you, then flex. Point and flex. So we don't work on ankles normally very often. And really important because we use the bare feet in yoga if we can. I know some people wear socks and yoga socks. That's fine. But most of the time we're using bare feet. Okay, now big circles. Rotating out or in, doesn't matter. Just rotate those ankles and then rotate them in. Excellent. Now, this is not everybody's favorite pose. We're in a seated wide angle, which opens up the inner thighs. And for a lot of us, we're very tight there. So let's go very gently out with one leg at a time. You can go as wide or as narrow as you have to. Not too narrow, please, because I do want you to get some opening through those hips and inner thighs. Now, a lot of people are anatomically challenged because they do have very big tightness through that pelvis and hips. And if you feel you're rolling backwards, you need to elevate the blanket or sit on a dictionary or sit on a brick to get as high as you can, because then that pelvis has a chance to move slightly further forward. Definitely takes time. If you're still new at this, you'll notice it takes time to get forward. Inner thigh. So we're not trying to do this in 1 hour. Remember, this is an ongoing thing. Yoga is all about flow and flowing evenly and carefully in every movement. All right, so here we are in seated wide angle. And for some of us, it's very tight just to sit here. If you feel it's too uncomfortable, back off by bending your knees a little bit. That's fine. Or if you've got any back issues, you might have to bend your knees a little bit. But if you can, I'd like you to flex your feet, which is pointing your toes up to ceiling. And make a fist now of your hand again. And again, quite lightly but firmly push the fist into the floor. And without dropping your head, we're going to take our chest slightly forward. And as soon as you do that, you'll notice an extra little stretch, that inner thigh and groin and hip. And you can, if you want to go a bit deeper, but try to keep the head lifted a little bit. Come back up. Did you notice anything? You should have done, especially if you haven't been working out very much. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale gently forward. We're not straining. We're doing our own thing. We're bringing ourselves into our mind and center. So we're not allowing ourselves to overstretch. Come back. Inhale. I'm going to do it one more time. Be comfortable. If you know you're in a position, you've been doing it for a long time, or you've been doing yoga all week, you can bring those elbows forward, all right, and let go. But this, with the fists, is by far the safer way and easier way. Breathe. Don't forget that long breath. Good. Come up. I'm going to take a little bit of a movement to the side. If it's too much, just gently stay forward. But we're going to try and take this hand here on the left and then the right, just gently coming forward. So we've slightly turned the hips and body now. If you want to, and it feels more comfortable, you can make a fist of this right hand. And again, you can do a little push so it elevates that body over the front of that leg. We're not trying to get the head to the knee. It's not necessary. All we need to do is allow ourselves to stretch. Try and take that feeling of you've got to get the head to the knee away. There should be no competition in yoga, and I know we'd love to do it, but there's no reason why, unless you can tell me one. Okay, make a fist if you want to of this left hand and bring the right hand forward, or both hands forward, up to you. But again, we're lengthening the spine before we start to drop the head. We start dropping the head, that spine is rounding. Stay here for another couple of breaths. Bend that knee a little bit if your back's uncomfortable, or if you're very tight, keep that knee slightly bent. Come back up. One more forward if we've got it in us. If not, sit comfortably. Fists, chest, chin, gently forward, or you can release your hands. Your choice. Think about it. Lift your belly a bit, please, and roll back up. Now, to be careful of our back and legs, let's just take one leg in at a time. We're going to sit comfortably again. Excuse me. Feet together. Okay, this is called cobbler's pose. And a lot of us, again, are very tight through the hips, groin, and even a low back. So, yes, it's nice to get our heels right in. It looks aesthetically very nice, but we're not looking for that in yoga. What we're doing, as I keep repeating myself, is that we're looking to stretch the area. So if this is really uncomfortable for your knees or hips, then you're going to take your legs 3, 4, 5, even 6 inches ahead so that you are more comfortable in this position. You're still working and opening. Think about it. So be comfortable wherever it's good for you. Hands can be on our ankles, on our feet. You can grab your big toes a little bit, or you can take your hands under the toes. Every position is fine. So now we're trying to open a little bit through those hips and groin. We're not forcing, just feeling an opening. And again, we're not dropping our head. We're not rounding the spine forward. We're coming forward with our chin and chest to get the spine long. Breathe. Close your eyes and let go. Every time you exhale, see if you can just have a little release. Come back up. I call them little flutterbys, just up and down with those knees and hips. Just a little bit, just to see if it opens a bit deeper. Good, then I'm going to lift up again, come forward halfway, and see if we can draw backwards with those ribs. It's a sort of rounding of the back just for a second, but we're not staying there. Just round it back for a second and then come forward. Sometimes when you do that, you can go that little extra stretch. Let go. Every time you exhale, good, come back up. Bring the knees together. Tuck your chin back and open. I just think of a beautiful flower opening in the sunshine, closing in the dark. Inhale and open, bringing energy and releasing back. One more time. Exhale, a little round in the back, good thing, and release. Sit tall, turn to your mat. Okay, hands. Let's take a grab of water. I didn't mention water, very important to hydrate. Now, if your knees are very tender, bring a blanket with or a cushion so to protect them. What we want to try and get now is the knees under the hips, right? They should be under the hips, and the hands under your shoulders. I hope you can see me. I might move back a little bit. Just make sure you can see me. Yes, that's better. Okay. So hands again under the shoulders, knees and hips, but don't lock your elbows. If you find yourself doing that, just turn your elbow inwards. Excuse me. I have had a little bit of a cold and a cough, but touch wood, it's not, I haven't had the other symptoms of COVID. All right, so here we go. We're going to arch the spine gently. So we've got an arch in the spine. And then we're going to round the spine. And as we round the spine, I want you, it's not as easy as it sounds, I want you to round from your sacrum first. It's very, very tight area for a lot of us. So we want to try and open it as much as we can. So when we round, we're rounding from that first, then engaging that belly, then tucking the chin right into the chest. And we're going to do it again. So we're going to come through neutral and arch the spine into what is called cow pose. Lifting the head a little bit, looking forward. And then rounding from that sacrum, exhaling into what is called cat. We're nice and slow. If you want a little deeper stretch, put your toes on the mat. Inhale if you can now into cow. And exhale slowly into cat. Good, let's do it again. Use that breath, please. Again, it's that focus we need. When you focus, you can listen to what's going on in your body right now. Let's do one more, please. Come back to what we call table or neutral spine. Release toes. And if we can, take your left arm out. Engage and lift from the belly in that center and take your right leg out. Now this is where we can lock the elbow. So soften the elbow a little bit. We don't want it bent. We don't want it locked. Good. So we're reaching out, but we don't want the buttocks to lift on that right side. So I know you probably don't have a mirror, but we're trying to lift the belly to maintain that level if we can. Breathe. Hold it as long as you can. Rest if you need to at any time. Please rest. And release that side. Let's try the other side. Same thing, but get comfortable first. Get into your neutral position. Lift those abdominals. Right arm and left leg extending way out. As soon as we extend, I love that, to get the extension, but just retract that shoulder blade a little bit. So we're not scrunching the shoulder. And again, let's see if we can keep these hips level by just contracting that belly a little bit more. Hold it there. Soften the shoulder if it's getting tight. Listen to your breath. Rest if you need to, please. And slowly release. A nice respite is devotional pose, which we do a lot. Toes, if comfortable, you're going to bring those big toes to touch because it creates an energy circle according to yoga. Set back with wide knees. Then your belly can relax. I'm not asking you to pull your belly in anymore at the moment. And then we take our head down to the mat. Now, if you're very tight through your hips or knees, you may not be able to get your head down. So if that's the case, you can bring a blanket if you've got one. Then put your forehead on the blanket. If you happen to have a brick or dictionary, put your forehead on the dictionary or brick. Or you can even make a fist of your hands. Do your own thing and allow yourself to sit back. Because we want to open up these hips and legs and thighs. But if we don't support our head, it's very heavy. If it's in fresh air and we're doing this, you're never going to relax the body because it's too heavy. You're holding up a very heavy part of the body. So we need to have that head down. We're going to come forward to your tummy now. So if you're wearing something, the shirt's riding up, it could be chilly. So pull it back down. I always say that because I've been caught. And we're going to come with our elbows under our shoulders. Hope you can see that. Elbows under the shoulders to maintain a lift from that belly. The pubic bone is gently nudging into the mat. Hips are. You're going to relax those shoulders again, even shake your neck out a little bit. And pointing the toes away from you a bit. Good. So we're going to lift up a little taller, but don't lift your shoulders. We're going to take a big breath. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to turn to the right. Just open up this neck again. Excuse me. Inhale, center. Exhale, very slowly to the left. Just notice the difference. Inhale back. Then we're going to come all the way down. Extend your arms nice and slowly, especially if your back's a little tight. Be careful. This is locust pose variation. So this is going to work your spine and back. So if you have any issues today, please remember that and be very gentle. Start slow, which I always do, but when you go into a few of the other poses, be careful. So the hands are extending out, strong. Good. And we're going to slowly engage our tummy and do an extended locust, which is very similar to what we did, which was extended cat earlier. But we're on our knees and hands. So the head can remain down. Mine's going to be up so you can hear me. Okay, so let's work that tummy a bit more. Pull it in, hips into the ground, buttocks going to work a little bit. Your right arm is now going to reach just off the floor, just skim it, and your left leg. And you're reaching away from your center. Again, you get a lovely stretch and a slight retraction of that shoulder blade. And relax. Let's try the other side. Left arm, right leg. Really get a stretch, retract that shoulder blade gently, and make sure the tummy is working. And release. Come down. Then we're going to come back up again. If it's comfortable, we're going to do it again. If you feel anything in your back, you can rest here. All right, let's get just comfortable through that midsection. Tummy, buns, hips, right arm again and left leg. And if you can and want to, bend this left knee, flex your foot and you can stay there. But if you want a little bit more, you can bring this hand around to meet the foot. Try not to yank your shoulder back. Your shoulder should be facing forward. And now a little bit of pressure, if you want it, on that hand from your foot. So what this is doing is really waking up your quad, the front of your thigh. The knee comes off a little bit, or you can stay here and release. Come all the way down. Other side, same thing. Tummy engaged, buns a little bit, hips. Left arm, right leg. Again, this is extended locust. You can stay here. You can bend this right knee, flex your foot and lift it up a little bit to the ceiling, or a little bit more if you want it. Shoulders forward, foot against the hand a little bit. I call this crossbow because it's just a little different from bow pose, which we will do next, but you do not have to do if it's too much. Release down, come all the way down, bring your hands under your forehead, palms down, and rest. Take your hands down by your sides now. We're lifting the belly. Absolutely. Hips and buns are working. And we're going to lift our head and chest off now. If that's too much for your back, very gently come down. If you can, stay here. Lift your arms up. This is a variation of locust. Start a flying locust. And release arms, chest, and head. So we're working slowly so you can just ascertain where your back is feeling. Let's do it again. Head, chest, big breath. Exhale, breathe. Arms, one leg. How does that feel? Both legs into flying locust. Too much? Alternate legs. Just put one down. Hold it. And slowly release the legs, the arms, the chest and head. So those people who have been with me for a long time and want to do it, we can do bow pose. For the rest of you, whatever feels good to you, do it. But if you just want to come back to flying locust, you can. The rest of us, we want to try. One hand in front of the ankle, the other hand. We're going to draw those shoulder blades in and see if we can lift those knees off. Head up a little bit, chest lifted, belly working, and you're breathing into bow pose. Don't go there if it's too much. Please breathe. Release down, release the legs, release the arms. And if you're wearing glasses, you want to take them off so you can turn your head to the right and drop your shoulders forward to really release this back. Deep belly breaths. And if you're not used to breathing for your belly, it's a good place to practice because you feel a bit of pressure into the mat and ground. Turn your head left, let go. Good. Hands are going to come under your shoulders. Big push up. And yep, going to sit back in devotional pose again. Lengthen back. If you have to have help for your head, please do. Do not have it in fresh air. Can you lengthen those fingers a fraction further forward without a strain? See if you can open those shoulders a bit deeper at the back. Come up halfway. Bring the knees in a little bit now so they're in line with your hips. Halfway. We're going to take our right arm under our left shoulder to open up the shoulders a bit into what is called eye of the needle, or threading the needle, or sewing the needle. Head comes down. Now some of us can't get that far. It's too far for our shoulders or back. So you can, again, bring a brick, dictionary, put the head there, blanket, whatever feels better for you. And then we're going to lift this arm up and breathe. Turn your head a little bit if it's comfortable. Deep breaths. And slowly release. Come back to center. And of course, we have to do the other side. So come halfway up again. Take your left arm under the right. Could be a bit tighter, so be careful. Walk this right arm further out as you drop your head down. And then when you're ready, if you want to, lift your right arm up. Slowly release. Come all the way back. This time, devotional pose just for a moment. Extending. Then, if you're more comfortable, bring your hands down by your feet and drop your shoulders forward. Hands in front of your knees. Take your hands forward all the way. About good 3 feet away from your knees. We're going to roll forward as though we're going to do a push-up. So we're going to do a slightly baby push-up as we draw the elbows into our waist, the tummy's working. Then we're going to push all the way up with our buttocks. Draw those heels back, buttocks back, legs back. Extend your arms. Look between your arms and your hands. Extend and lift your belly into downward facing dog. Take your right leg behind you. Pull it back. Bend your knee. And push it all the way back into three-legged dog, as we call it. Knee into the chest. Come forward to your right wrist, if possible. If not, stay to your chest. All the way back, three-legged dog. Really get a good extension, stretch. One more time, knee to chest. Stay there if it's more comfortable. Come forward if you can to the wrist. Even cross it over to the opposite wrist. Come back. Three-legged dog. Release the feet. Come on down. Downward facing dog. Of course, the other side. Left leg. All the way out. Now really feel a stretch for your heel as well. Your belly's lifted, of course. Draw this knee slowly to the chest. Pull it back. Three-legged dog. Extend. Breathe. Knee to chest. If comfortable, draw it towards that left wrist. Slowly extend back. Feel the stretch. It's yours. Bring it in. Inhale. Exhale. Forward. Cross it over to the right wrist. Be comfortable. Come back. Slowly, three-legged dog. Reach it out. Bring that foot down. Downward facing dog. Drop to your knees. And shake those wrists out. Sometimes they can get tight in down dog, especially if you haven't been doing anything. If that feels tight through your wrists, put the back of your hands in front of your knees and pull the arms back a little bit. You'll feel a stretch. Very gently release. Take your hands forward one more time, but this time get your feet on the ground. And bend one knee and stretch that calf on the left and the other. Calf on the right. Up to you. How tight? If you are tight, walk your feet in a bit closer. If you're flexible, walk your feet further out. So you can go further out to get a better stretch. Good. Bend your knees now. Walk your hands into your feet. Drop your head. We call this rag doll. If you can't find comfortable and your back's feeling good, grab the opposite elbow and hang there. But if your back's tight, put your elbows on your knees. It's not good just to hang. You want to look after your back.
Very slowly, hands on the knees, come up to standing.
How do we feel? Grab some water.
Might even take this off, I'm getting warm.
How are we doing? Okay. So we're just going to do a little bit of balance, which I know everybody loves, of course, but we need balance in our lives. When we have physical balance, it helps because it brings a mental balance. So we need to have both, mental balance and physical balance. All right, so standing on a carpet is always a little more interesting than a mat anyway. It gives us a little bit. So I noticed my mat is moved. I'm just going to move it back a little bit. People know me on my OCD on being straight. All right, so we're going to take our arms out. I'm going to take our leg behind us on the right. All right, this is it. If you need a chair or a little bit of help or the wall, go ahead. This is fine. We're going to draw this leg up and off as we pull the belly in. All right, that belly helps with balance. So draw it in. Okay, and this we're going to let our hands come to our heart into a variation of Warrior 3 pose. So Warrior 3 from the side looks better like this. Okay, and you can hold on to something. It's very handy. I've got a sofa there. But we can allow ourselves to just reach out, flex your foot. Sometimes that helps. And soften this left knee. Step back and bring yourself up into Warrior 1 variation. Hands can be open, they can be closed. You can turn to your back toes for a little more balance. Engage that belly and release. Come all the way back. Center, widen the legs. Fingers inside those hips just to get a good position for our spine and back. This is standing wide angle. Okay, we did seated earlier. Hands can be on the thighs here. If you've got a brick, put it in front of you, dictionary, or hands on the floor. Bend your knees and come up. Arms out and toe heel in. It's not very easy on a carpet, so bring the feet in. Let's try that all on the other side, please. Engage your tummy, focus your eyes, and I'm going to step back a bit because I can see that you can't quite see me as well as I'd like. There we go. I think that's a bit better. All right. So take your leg behind you. Except I'm going to hit my furniture now. Take that leg off. Hold it. Belly. Hands to your heart. And lengthen. Okay? We're trying to lengthen back. We're trying to keep that balance. Again, it looks better from the side. Focus, tummy and eyes. Flex your foot. Be comfortable. That right knee is slightly bent. Not bent a lot, but just a little bit to have a little bit of give. Breathe. Step back. Bend that front knee. Lift up into a variation of Warrior 1. Turn your toes. If you want some more balance, yeah, it brings balance immediately. So engage your tummy. Release the arms, back out wide. Wide angle. Again, we don't want rounded backs. So we're trying to bend from the hips. Hands here on the floor, on a brick. Head is slightly forward again so that we get the angle. I'm going to slip on the carpet, but the angle of the spine is going forward. From here, let's bring the feet in, hands to the heart. Stretch one more all the way up. Bring the hands back to the heart. Take a deep breath and release. Mountain pose. Hands by your sides. Look down at your feet for a moment. I don't want you to look down all the time, but just down at your feet. I want the feet comfortably pointed forward, please. They can be slightly separate or together, whatever feels better for you. Hands by your side, and then I want a big lift of energy, especially when you breathe in, of lifting tall, of trying to maintain that spine, to lift. Soften the shoulders. Breathe deeply from that belly if you can. Good. Open your eyes and come back down to the floor. So, we need to do a little inversion and then relaxation, because that's one of the most important poses of yoga. So when we come back down, hands are going to come under the buttocks and the legs are going to go in the air. This is the easiest pose you can do. And I don't think you can you see me? I can't see myself, so I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay, yeah, good. So legs up the wall pose. Now if you have walls, and I know you do, you can just shuttle yourself over to the wall and put your legs up the wall. Head is down, hands under the buttocks just to release the back a little bit. If you've got a brick or a dictionary, you can put that under your buttocks and you don't have to worry about your hands. But this is one of the easiest inversions you can do and very effective because we're turning that blood flow around and it's going to our pelvis, heart, and of course the brain, very useful for cognitive situations. Deep breaths. Soften that chin a little bit and just tuck it slightly so you're not hurting the back of the neck. We're taking time to breathe, please. We need to be comfortable. If for any reason having your legs in the air is not making you comfortable, put them back down. If you've got a brick or dictionary, you're in a supported bridge position. If you haven't got that, you can stay in bridge without a brick, engaging the tummy and just nudging those buttocks forward a little bit. Bridge pose. Excuse me. When you're ready, you're going to come out of this very slowly, or depending on which pose you're in, you would just bring the legs down if you're in legs up the wall pose. If you've got a brick, you're going to have to take that brick out and gently come into this bridge pose to release your spine, then your buttocks gently down. Hands under your hamstrings, draw your head through into double wind pose, whatever it's called. It releases the back and feels so good. Let's do it again. Exhale. Good. Draw your knees to the right. Excuse me, I'm sorry about the coughing. So doing gentle twist for our spine, especially if your back's feeling tight. We're going to turn our head left. Let go of the legs and arms so you can relax in this sage twist, as it's called. Come back up, turn your knees gently to the left, your head to the right. Please be comfortable, letting go with every single exhalation. Precursor to relaxation. Come back to center. Yep, hands under the hamstrings, widen those knees. Head up through, double wind, one more time. And release. It is time for rest, or shavasana as it's called. And we're just going to extend the legs out if it's comfortable. We're going to try and open the hips and legs and feet. Palms up. Draw the shoulder blades down. Tuck your chin a little bit. And find comfort and ease here. You put something under your head, a blanket. You can put the blanket under your thighs. If you've got any issues with your back, bring your knees together in like a tripod and your feet about the width of the mat. And that takes pressure off your back. If you want to, you can put a brick or a couple of bricks under your thighs and let it open. Again, it's taking pressure off your back. So let your eyes close. Excuse me. And take time, please, to let go now. This is your time. Especially important in these times, these trying times. I want you to feel comfortable, so don't be afraid to move as you listen to your breath. Deep inhales and an even deeper exhale. If you can, I'd like you to extend your exhalation. So if you're breathing in for, say, a count of 4, try and exhale for a count of 5 or maybe even 6. This is an extension of your breath, helps us get on to the relaxation system. We have 2 systems. We have a fight or flight response system, which are pretty much every day now we're on because we're ready to go and find out what's going on. And then we have a relaxation system. So it's either the sympathetic nervous system or the parasympathetic nervous system, which is your relaxation system. Let us go. Let everything release as you exhale. Your mind is all over the place. It's very normal. Nudge yourself back to your breath, if possible, from the belly or diaphragm. And think about what is most important to you right at this moment. You are welcome to continue relaxing, taking a few more moments for yourself. But if you want to move the body and stretch it, slowly taking your arms and legs away from each other, stretching out, and then drawing those knees into your chest, big hug of those knees. And then just wander side to side with those knees a little bit, just noticing how you're feeling. Do you feel a little calmer? Do you feel a little bit more energy? I hope so. Push down gently on the right side with your left hand as you turn to get up and seated. Be comfortable again how you sit. And let's take our hands behind our back. We finish with mudras, 2 mudras. Mudras are just hand gestures, seals of energy, just bringing energy together, according to yoga. So the first one is going to take our hands behind our back, and we're going to wrap the dominant hand around the opposite wrist. This is the mudra of balance, bringing our body back to balance. We're going to drop forward. If comfortable, we're going to try and get the head lower than the heart. Please don't compromise your back. But we're trying to release that ego. Inhale, gently lift up slowly, big breath, exhale. Excuse me. Hands to the heart. Thumbs are just going to rest against the breastbone. This is Anjali Mudra's Seal of Salutation, and this is sealing all the benefit of this video. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know. And take a deep breath and think about your loved ones, maybe who are isolated. Get in touch, Skype, text, email. Make sure you contact everybody that's in your loved circle. Namaste. Peace in the hearts, peace in the minds, and all beings of peace. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm hoping I'm going to get some more done. I will let you know. They'll be posted on the Eat and Rec website and YouTube, but that will have a link from the Eat and Rec site, website. So please allow yourself to check that out. Namaste.